Expecting Season 5 to save Halo is like expecting a snowflake to survive in a furnace of issues. The hype for Halo Infinite Season 5 is misplaced. Many posts online allude to the idea that this is it. Halo Infinite has been saved. Halo Infinite is back. The population hit a new peak. Things are going great. But a thorough analysis on this topic, putting blind hype and fanboyism aside, will reveal the truth. In my opinion, Halo Infinite's population will go back down to the levels that it once had, and Season 5 is not the saving grace that the Halo community claims to be so. I know, this sounds disappointing, but within all that hype, fanboyism, and forced positivity, you can see just how incomplete Halo Infinite still is going on 2 years after release. Let's start with the biggest part of the Halo Infinite Season 5 update, AI in custom games and Forge mode. At first glance, this is very exciting, and I'm sure this has in part created the small surge in the player base who are eager to try out the PvP and PvE content Halo Infinite will provide. But with everything 343 Industries do or implement, there's always something that is wrong or not as well thought out as it should be. And in this case, it's the fact that in order to experience AI in multiplayer, you need to use the custom games browser. But the browser is terrible. It's barely functional. It hardly works. So how are you going to sit there and tell me that Season 5 will save Halo Infinite when one of its coolest features is dependent on the vitality of the custom games browser's system? I'm just going to have to show you myself. Zanzibar Firefight, the holy grail of Halo maps with AI. Let's do this. This will be fun. But wait, it's not loading. My map isn't loading. I pressed join game, the custom games browser should have joined, but I'm still sitting in an empty lobby looking stupid. Okay, we'll give it another shot. Maybe it was just the map and game mode combination. It was too much for the browser. I'm sure it'll work if I try another map or mode combination. Why don't I try a basic Slayer game mode on Asylum from Halo Reach? Join game. What the hell? It's still not working. Okay, so we have some progress now. I was able to get into the lobby and see the other players, and what? What's this? A fire team member's online safety settings do not allow them to view community creations. Okay. You know what? I've had it. I'm giving this garbage custom games browser one more shot. This is it. Here's the perfect map and perfect mode. Big team battle, AI, coagulation. The best combination. Who wouldn't want to try this out? It's a great map. I get to experience the new campaign AI. Let's do it. Of course, why didn't I expect anything other than this from 343? My game is stuck. It won't load. It says loading map at 0%. People keep leaving and joining the game. Oh, but not only this, hold on, here's the kicker. I'm stuck in this lobby every time I hit leave. Leave game. It won't let me leave. Leave game. Leave game. I don't want to restart my game. They need to get whoever made the MCC's custom game browser over here because this piece of shit. You have been disconnected from the local network. Returning to the main menu. Wow. It's still not returning me to the main menu. I'm just sitting here. After seeing that, it's simple. Having AI in custom games is like going to a concert of your favorite band, but the sound keeps cutting out during their performance. In this case, 343 are offering us a high-speed internet package, but the custom games browser is like using a dial-up connection. Adding AI to custom games in this state is like 343 planning a rocket launch, but the custom games browser forgets to do the countdown. Don't like that one? Here's one more for you. This update is like a detective story where 343 has all the tools at their disposal, but still can't find the clues even if it's right under their goddamn noses. And you know what? I'm really getting tired of the decision-making process of this company. The custom games browser was added on December 6, 2022, and it hasn't had a single update to improve its ease of use, speed, or interactivity. So it begs the question to 343. How are you going to sustain a higher player base and population implementing AI into Forge and Customs with the underlying system built to use this functionality is essentially a dud? Also, I can't imagine how much of a disaster using the system would be in a party of more than one, but I guess it's no big deal for 343 considering they tend to make games that lack the fun, social, community interaction aspect of Halo. Obviously, having a bugged custom games browser will lead to frustration and disappointment among returning players, potentially causing them to lose interest and ultimately leave Halo Infinite until it works as intended. This Halo Infinite update also doesn't do anything to address the issue with desync. Desync in Halo Infinite refers to a mismatch between what's happening on a player's screen and what the game server is registering or what the other players are seeing. This discrepancy can be caused by various issues such as lag, network instability, or server performance problems. In Halo Infinite, desync manifests in multiple ways. Players might shoot an opponent, see and hear the shots connect, but the game server does not register the hits. so the opponent takes no damage. A player might see themselves in a safe position, but to the other players of the server, they're in a different spot, leading to seemingly impossible deaths or hits. Picking up weapons or interacting with the physics in the sandbox might not register correctly as well, leading to frustration and more confusion. If you've ever played Trash Compactor in Halo Infinite, you would know exactly what I mean. When objects fly towards you, it's as if the game engine can't keep up with all the items being thrown at you, and you'll get hit by a random map prop that really isn't in front of you. Look, if 343 really wanted to save Halo Infinite, then they need to double down on fixing the netcode, desync, and custom game browser issues. There is no amount of content that they can add that the game will allow certain players to not overlook these issues because of how much they detract from the gameplay experience. I saw a comment online saying, well, if Titanfall 2 can make a comeback, so can Halo. But here's the difference. Respawn sorted out Titanfall 2's gameplay issues, cheating, and netcode in an attempt to make its return. 343 didn't do this, not at all. Never. They'd rather add all these bells and whistles to their game. Yeah, we've added 2 new maps, dropped everything to update the store. Oh look, we've added Master Chief's armor for $20 in our predatory microtransaction system. Meanwhile, the important stuff that needs to be released never sees the light of day. It's been 2 years, and so far we are clueless as to what 343 is going to do in regards to improving Halo Infinite's gameplay desync and custom game systems. What about the aiming issues in Halo Infinite? It's been plagued with aiming issues since beta, both on console and PC. This seems to be brushed under the rug, as with everything else that would actually improve the core systems of the game. Personal question, do you feel that the aiming is messed up in Infinite? I've talked to Ronabody about this issue, among others, and we are all in agreement. If you search for Halo Infinite aiming issues online, you will come up with many results and complaints of how it feels sluggish and not as good as other Halo titles. And believe it or not, but Halo Infinite on controller is actually the slowest Halo game to ever exist, and this has certainly put off my enjoyment of the game. I've cranked all my settings up to the max they can go, 10 out of 10, look acceleration 5, everything to the max, and I still feel like I'm aiming too slow. Earlier this year, Kotaku reached out to 343 for more information regarding aiming issues. It states, while Infinite's core mechanics are solid and work well, there have been issues around aiming, with many players suspecting that the game seems particularly off when trying to line up precision shots with a sniper rifle, either de-scoped or while aiming down sights. Whether this is due to the game's auto-aim function that eases controller aim, bullet magnetism, or the notorious desync issues many players have had with Infinite isn't totally certain. So you can fanboy out and claim all these things, screaming at the top of your lungs about the Season 5 Battle Pass and the new extraction mode from Halo 4 that failed and nobody really gave a crap about. I'm more concerned of why the aiming is still busted, why the custom games browser is still broken, why desync is still a thing 2 years after release, and most of all, why everyone is so obsessed with Halo Infinite's return to glory when there are still so many critical issues left to be resolved. One last little personal nitpick, and I saved the personal nitpick last for this reason. I wanted to keep everything more objective. The Season 5 Infinite update also adds the Bandit Evo with a scope, a weapon that fires similarly to the DMR from Halo Reach. And while I'm welcome to the addition of new weapons to Halo's Sandbox, that's always a good thing, I do feel that it is a mistake to be replacing the battle rifle. Here, 343 Industries are making the same mistake that Gears 5 made. In an attempt to tamper and improve upon the competitive scene, they change dynamics that only need to be changed for the sake of change. It's like they have a kink with precision weapons. We have the Bandit Evo, we have the BR, we have the Commando, we have all these precision weapons. But what about all the other fun, unique weapons from the Covenant and the Banished, like the Spiker and the Plasma Rifle? The weapons sandbox, in my opinion, is turning generic. Meanwhile, with the changes to the starting weapons in Halo Infinite, the game now feels unfamiliar. Players now have to unlearn the staple battle rifle in favor of a brand new weapon that already may need to be nerfed based on criticism from the community. Then when you add in desync and aiming issues, I don't think the Bandit Evo meshes with the sandbox as good as the BR for it to be the base utility weapon. The battle rifle was more forgiving with desync, because there was still a chance to do damage from a burst shot. Whereas, this time, it's no longer possible with the single-shot Evo. In wrapping up, betting on Season 5 to be the knight in shining armor for Halo Infinite is akin to expecting a garden to flourish under the shade of a large tree. No matter how many new seeds you plant, they won't thrive until the overarching issues are addressed. The introduction of AI in custom games and Forge mode is a promising development, I agree, but the malfunctioning custom games browser is like having a watering can with holes in it. It just can't effectively deliver what's needed for a flourishing experience. The persistent desync and aiming issues further complicate the situation, acting like invasive weeds that choke out the potential for smooth gameplay. Even with the influx of returning players and new content, these core issues are the pests that need urgent attention. Changing the weapon sandbox and adding the Bandit Evo may seem like an attempt to revitalize the soil, but without fixing the foundational problems first, it's like planting flowers in infertile ground. The hype around Season 5 and its new offerings may provide a temporary boost to Halo Infinite, just like a splash of fertilizer, but sustainable growth and player satisfaction can only be achieved when the deep-rooted issues are finally uprooted and resolved. Until then, in my opinion, Halo Infinite's true potential remains buried, waiting for the day when the necessary conditions are met for it to truly flourish and reclaim its glory. As always, I'd like to thank you for watching. Leave a like, comment your thoughts and concerns on the video, and lastly, subscribe to Weapons Grade to view more content about the future of Halo and gaming in general. Peace.